For Jacob Reed, the world was a straightforward place, governed by logic and verifiable facts. Ghosts, hauntings, cursed houses, these were tales for late-night campfires, not lived realities. But the summer of 2019 introduced him to a reality far stranger, shattering his perceptions and leaving an indelible mark. This is the story of a house that wasn't just a rental, but a predatory entity, an architectural illusion that vanished as mysteriously as it appeared, leaving behind a chilling trail of disappearances and a relentless, unseen presence. In the sweltering heat of that summer, Jacob, a 27-year-old freelance photographer based in North Carolina, found himself in a predicament many creatives face. Work was scarce, bills were mounting, and a mental reset felt more necessary than ever. He yearned for an escape, a quiet, affordable haven far removed from the ceaseless urban drone. A friend suggested Briarwood Ridge, a tranquil rural community nestled amidst the mountains, promising a much-needed respite. Online, Jacob stumbled upon what seemed like a godsend, a charming two-story house on Ridgetop Lane. The listing portrayed a rustic exterior, a recently renovated interior, ample space, and the serene backdrop of surrounding woods. The only oddity was the absence of a named owner. Instead, a corporate logo, Ridgetop Properties LLC, graced the page. Yet the price was unbelievably low, a siren song to Jacob's dwindling finances. Desperation, a potent motivator, overshadowed any lingering unease, and he promptly booked the house for 4 weeks. Upon his arrival, the town of Briarwood Ridge exuded an unsettling quietude. It wasn't abandoned, but rather possessed a profound stillness, as if even the wildlife held its breath. The house itself appeared significantly older than its online portrayal, particularly the windows, which bore peculiar scratch marks from the inside. His first human encounter was with Linda, a woman in her late 60s who lived across the road. Her greeting was devoid of pleasantries or inquiries about his background. Instead, her eyes, filled with an unreadable intensity, fixed on him as she asked, "Are you staying long?" When Jacob replied, "A month," her eyes widened visibly. A stark warning followed. "Don't walk in the woods after sundown, ever." Jacob, attempting to lighten the mood, chuckled, attributing her words to small-town superstition. Linda did not reciprocate his amusement. Later that week, at a local diner, a friendly waitress named Ashley innocently inquired, "You're not on Ridgetop Lane, are you?" Upon confirmation, she paused, coffee pot mid-air, before remarking, "People don't usually rent that place for more than a few days." Before Jacob could probe further, her manager's urgent summons from the back curtailed their conversation, and Ashley never returned to his table. That night, as Jacob approached his front door, a light flickered on upstairs, a disconcerting observation given he hadn't been to the second floor all day, let alone unpacked. The light pulsed once, then slowly extinguished, leaving him alone in the encroaching darkness. The second week brought an escalation of the uncanny. Soft footsteps, a rhythmic pacing echoed from the upstairs. In the early hours, faint whispers would drift through the house, just indistinct enough to evade comprehension. One particularly eerie night at approximately 3 a.m., Jacob awoke to his phone buzzing. An unknown number had sent a cryptic text, "Don't go into the basement, not after midnight." The message itself was unsettling, but more so was the revelation that the house even possessed a basement, a detail he was entirely unaware of. His curiosity, a double-edged sword, compelled him to investigate. Flashlight in hand, he meticulously searched the house, eventually discovering a hidden door behind a wooden shelf in a hallway closet. It was indeed a basement door, old, heavy, and conspicuously covered in scratch marks. The handle felt unearningly cold. As he pressed his ear against the aged wood, a faint, slow breathing emanated from the other side, unmistakably the sound of a living entity, not merely the rush of air. Jacob recoiled instantly, spending the remainder of the night in the dubious safety of his car. Desperate for answers, Jacob tried questioning locals about the house, but each mention of the Ridgetop Lane address met with immediate silence or a swift change of subject. Finally, at the grocery store, a man approached him as he loaded groceries into his trunk. His voice was hushed, conspiratorial. "The renters before you? 3 of them walked into those woods behind your house. 1 in 2016, 2 in 2018. None of them came back." The man gestured towards the ominous tree line at the rear of Jacob's rental property. "And when people searched, they found nothing. No tracks, no scent, no bodies." When Jacob pressed for an explanation, the man offered a chilling pronouncement. "That house calls people. Something in it wants you alone." Before Jacob could ask more, the man vanished as quickly as he appeared, as if fearing retribution for his revelation. That night, a new, more terrifying sound pierced the silence of the house. footsteps that no longer attempted to conceal themselves. Heavy, deliberate strides echoed through the rooms. Jacob remained awake until the first rays of dawn pierced the horizon. By his final week, the eerie occurrences reached a fever pitch. One evening, around 9 p.m., Jacob ventured outside with his camera, intending to capture the night sky. As he adjusted his tripod, he detected movement near the woods. Initially, he dismissed it as deer, then the figure stepped into the moonlight. It was impossibly tall, far exceeding human proportions, standing perfectly still amongst the trees. Its arms dangled at an unnatural length, and its head was cocked at an odd angle, as if intently scrutinizing him. Frozen by terror, Jacob watched as it took a single deliberate step forward, the crunch of leaves resonating loudly in the otherwise silent night. Then another. Panic seizing him, he bolted inside, slamming the door shut. From an upstairs window, he observed the towering entity standing at the edge of the yard, its gaze unwavering. It remained there, a silent sentinel, until the first hint of sunrise. On his very last night in the house, Jacob awoke not to a sound, nor a movement, but to an overwhelming sensation of being watched. His eyes snapped open. The bedroom door, which he distinctly remembered closing, now stood ajar. Flashlight in hand, he cautiously scanned the empty hallway. Then he heard it, a slow, deliberate creaking, 3 distinct sounds echoing through the stillness. The basement door, opening on its own. Every instinct screamed at him to flee, yet a potent cocktail of curiosity, fear, and sheer stupidity compelled him to investigate. As he reached the top of the basement stairs, his flashlight flickered, casting an erratic beam into the abyss below. In the profound darkness, he perceived movement. A hand, long, gnarled fingers scraping against a cement floor. Then a second hand. Slowly, agonizingly, a face began to lift from the shadows. It was not human, not even remotely. The voice that emerged from the darkness was a raspy whisper, worse than any nightmare. "You're staying longer." Jacob didn't hesitate. He ran. He left everything behind, abandoning his belongings, his car, and his sanity, driving straight out of Briarwood Ridge without a single glance in his rearview mirror. A week later, attempting to report the bewildering house listing, Jacob found the website displayed a chilling message. This property does not exist. There were no records of Ridgetop Properties LLC, no tax history, no ownership documents, nothing. When he consulted satellite maps, the house was conspicuously absent, replaced only by a dense canopy of trees. Jacob knew, with an unwavering certainty, that he hadn't hallucinated. He hadn't imagined it, because 2 months later, his phone buzzed with a final text from that same unknown number. "You know where you moved." Attached was a photograph, a photo of him taken through his new apartment window at night while he was sound asleep. The house on Ridgetop Lane may have vanished, but its insidious grasp remained.